Ring ding ding kitties, CrackingCody here, and welcome to my review of Kansas State University's God of Carnage. Now, God of Carnage, which is written by Yasmina Reza, I don't know how you pronounce it, which we did here at K-State. Jerry J. Cranford directed it. Good job. Dylan Rogerson was the stage manager. Kathy Vogt, scenic design. John Utoff, lighting. Brianna Cozen. Anyway, Cozen did the costuming. And many others, of course, but Jerry J. and Dylan. And then the four cast members, Alan Raleigh was played by Clay Massingill. Annette Raleigh, his wife, was played by Dani Golway. Michael Novak was played by Mark Young. And Veronica Novak was played by Amanda Garvey. I got a nice little handy-dandy program. That's what it is. I was trying to think of the word. Program. But yeah, God of Carnage. It was written, I think, in 2005. I know the first time it was premiered was 2006. Won a bunch of Tonys. I believe it has a French origin. I believe it does have a French origin, if I remember right. They made a movie out of it with John C. Reilly and Christoph Waltz and a couple other people I don't remember. I haven't seen the movie. But anyway, I'm focusing about the play that they just did. I saw it today. And I have a paper due Tuesday. Here's my ticket. Boom! I didn't sneak in. It's not the movies. And so I'm just going to go in order of the things. First I'm going to talk about set and stuff. Set, I'll start with lighting. Lighting is obviously the first thing I noticed, and clever job in the lighting. As the characters got more and more angry, the lighting became redder, if that's a word. Redder. It became more red. They hit more red cues. Up to a point, to the climax, where they were chasing each other around the stage, the four of them, and all the red cues were on. And then, when things would settle down in the show, they would slowly diminish the red on the stage. And a thing I really liked about the set, Veronica is a big African, she designed her home with what appears to be African decor. And there's a painting in the back with what appears to be an African painting of trees, like a metallic silver. And as the light hits the painting, the red lights, it glimmers and shines more red. And that closing scene where Alan and Annette are holding each other and Michael's off on this side and Veronica's just standing there, the lights are going down. They keep some red cues on, and that painting just glows, and it was really nice. I like the red rug too. It was nice. I couldn't help noticing, in terms of props, my animal light, my spinning animal light, was there on the table without the animal fixture. I remember buying that for a show. That was just, popping in my mind. I saw it, and I'm like, I know that. It took me a long time to get, so it was expensive too. It was like $80. Anyway, but yeah, it was a plausible set. I could see someone living there. The floor design was on the wall, but then it's plausible. Not likely, but plausible. Nice furniture. That's all I got. I didn't really like that middle table. It was really tacky to me. Did look African, but I'm no home decorator, as you can see. So, but it was a very appealing set. When I walked in, it looked really modern. It looked really nice. And good job destroying the place, guys. In terms of characters, side note, I don't know, how many cell phones did you guys buy? Because I imagine dunking a cell phone in a vase over and over and over for a show, you gotta have at least 6 to 8 I think you guys are doing 6 to 8 shows. This, another side note, is that these cast members and the crew and Jay, they only had one dress rehearsal because Snow Days got rid of all the others. And that's pretty impressive, to only, go in one dress rehearsal expecting more, have little other things to tweak, but you don't have that time. You just have to go right into your show on Thursday, and it's just, it was impressive about what you guys did. On to the characters. I was having a hard time picking my favorite character. I always like to pick a favorite character. And I kept going between Alan and Michael. I just kept going back and forth the whole show up until the end. And then Annette started to appeal to me because she, as the character, not the actress, as the character, she became more raw. As she became more drunk, more emotion came out, and her real self came forward. And something about that appealed to me, but I don't have a verdict on my favorite character. There's things I like about Alan and Michael so much. I'm sorry, Veronica. I'm sorry you're not one of my favorites, but anyway, I remember when I auditioned for the show. This was definitely the one show this semester that I liked. I really liked that part, and I got a callback for this show also, which was exciting because I actually liked the show. The others, but I was excited to see what they would do with the show, with the vomiting. That was mainly it. That was mainly the thing that would be a technical issue, getting a lot of cell phones to dunk. Even though the screen still was on afterwards. Anyway, on to the actors, which, so good. In the start, everyone was calm. Minus Clay. Clay's character, Alan. Clay, I think, did a fantastic job, especially as Alan. After I've seen this, I can no longer see anyone else as Alan. Even Christoph Waltz, who won 2 Oscars for Best Supporting Actor in Django and Inglourious Basterds. But Clay, just that facial hair and the slickness. No, it was his attitude that really. Clay, you're a fast talker, and I could see he articulated so well that I could still hear everything he was saying. But you can see a lawyer aspect in him. Clay's what, like 19, and I'm already seeing him as that figure. It was so good, especially at the end. My favorite thing about the show itself, is that Alan and Michael always seemed to side on the same sides. They always seemed, even in the end, they shook hands. It's kind of like they got along. There were a couple things they argued with, but majority of the show, they actually kind of got along. They agreed with each other about a lot of things, and I really like that. Maybe that's why I have a hard time choosing between the two, is because they were on the same side, kind of. Alan's wife, Annette, played by Dani, so good. That vomiting scene was hilarious. There was a lady sitting to my left, and every time Dani would gag, which was really good, and make that sound either in the bucket or in the towel or just like in her hands, the lady to the left of me would cringe and she would cover her eyes. It was because I would just notice it out in my peripheral, and I would just look over every time Dani would be down there heaving. It was really funny. But I think Dani's moment shined when she started drinking the rum. She definitely played with her character. It wasn't just like a lot of anger or a lot of like fake, like there was a lot of that. But after getting drunk, she definitely started playing with the character, and it was bon appetit. Michael, who's played by Mark Young, Michael seemed like he seemed like he was whipped. And I like how Mark, this is actually for Amanda Garvey, who played Veronica. I really liked the snapping, and then Michael like rushing over to, you know, be like with his wife. That was really good. And I think my favorite part with Michael was always his defensive about being a murderer. You murdered that hamster. That poor hamster. Look at it! Look at the hamster! Yeah, it was very good. I always like the little things, the little background things, like when Michael jumps up on the table saying he's a Neanderthal, and then Clay's over there, you know, laughing. Like it's those little things, those side things that you don't notice. That, you know, there's not a lot of focus put on them. There's focus put on one thing, but the actors and actresses doing these little small things, that is really what catches my eye in shows. I really watch. I don't watch who's talking. I watch people's reactions. And I think Mark's reaction, especially the difference between his reaction to Alan, you know, like, hey, or his wife who beats him with a shoe. It's that kind of difference there that really stands out. And then Amanda Garvey, who plays his wife, Veronica Novak. I think my favorite. The thing that stood out the most is that I could definitely see Amanda being in that position, being that kind of mom, you know, nurturing, caring. But I love how she made the character very defensive of that part of her personality. You know, she defended her son, and she defended Darfur, and she defended her Clafouti. Well, it was really Michael's mom's Clafouti, and it was just the whole thing. And Amanda made some very interesting, like, the faces she would make when reacting to something was like you would notice it, because I was sitting in row C, so I was a little farther back on the side, and every time she'd make a face that was something intentional, you'd notice it. Others, it may be a little more subtle, but, you know, she made you notice it. And all the actors made such clear intentions. Every movement was with a purpose. I didn't hear anyone stutter. No stammering over lines. No, like, you know, like, what am I supposed to do? Everyone was always in the moment. Everyone was full of energy, unless they weren't supposed to have energy. You know, like laying on the ground, like in self-pity. But it was just, the whole show was fantastic. It's definitely on my top 5 list of best shows I've seen at K-State. And it's on my top 3 list of favorite shows I've seen at K-State. I'm a little biased because I've been in a couple shows, and that might be my first one. Though The Wedding Singer was really good. That might be my favorite because it was so out there. But God of Carnage is at least my second favorite show I've seen at K-State. It was just so good. If I can give it 4 out of 4, I would. Or 5 out of 5, or 10 out of 10. 20 stars, whatever rating, 100%. I'd give it perfect. A+. A+. It was so good. If you haven't seen it yet, there's still 3 more days to see it. Go see it. If you attend K-State, Kansas State University, Wildcats, emo. I don't care about sports. Yeah. Go see it. It's really good. I don't know how much tickets are. I imagine it would be on this. It says $9, but I don't remember paying $9 for it. Tricky tickets. I don't know. It's a price. There's price on it. So but yeah. God of Carnage. Great show. Keep it up. I hope to act with you guys in the future, because everyone at K-State's just such a great actor, and I'm always impressed. I'm always every time I see a different person acting in a big show, like when I saw Bengal Tiger or The Wedding Singer, Kimberly Akimbo, anytime I see a show, I'm always just surprised, because I'm always a student or a friend to these people. I've never seen them act. It's always different when you see someone actually acting on stage in front of an audience. You see them in a different light, and I'm always impressed. So, Mark, Clay, Dani, Amanda, Jay, you pulled off one fantastic show. So, thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you can, or if you want to. And as always, have a good day.